1976, Wizard of Oz, Ghost of a Chance, Ghost the Musical, Playing Doctor, It's a Wonderful Life, The Odd Couple, Oliver, King and I, Beverly Hillbillies, Sugar, Tuna Christmas, Gilligan's Island, Forever Plaid, The Play That Went Wrong, Once Upon a Mattress, Man of La Mancha, Beauty and the Beast, Red Velvet Cake Wars, Rex's Exes, Willy Wonka, Bonnie and Clyde, Sister Act, 39 Steps, Greater Tuna, Sleepy Hollow, and would have been in this play, Born Yesterday, coming up in February. If ever there was a Renaissance man, John Lamb was it. He had a vocabulary bigger than the Grand Canyon. John and Kathy would come over almost every Friday night, and we'd sit and play Scrabble. And you don't want to play Scrabble with John for money, because at the end of the night, you don't own your car. If you ever needed a friend, John was here for you. I'd call him up and say, John, I need help. I'll be right over. I could be buried in the backyard, and the only thing he'd ask, I need to bring a shovel. This is my co-host, Jerry Don. My name is Jim, and hopefully we're going to do a good job today. I love that man. I miss him terribly.
John Lamb once told me, we were sitting across from each other having coffee, and I was in my early 20s, and he turned to me and said, Jerry, you have all the ambition of a dead rhino. Unfortunately, I couldn't argue with him at the time. To echo Jim, John was a friend, and you could count on him to say things like that. And you could seldom argue with him, because usually he was right. And if you did argue with him, it wouldn't make any difference anyway. I'm going to read John's obituary today. There are not enough words. The obituary, and I can say this, I know the author. The obituary falls short. There's no way that an obituary won't. So I'm going to ask for just a touch of audience involvement today. And I know some of you would rather run out of the room, but John would have loved it, so play along with me. John Lamb, 66, of Palestine, passed away on December 17th, 2025. John was born on December 30th, 1958, in Beaumont, to parents Cliff and Jane Lamb. He had a lively mind, a generous spirit, and a tendency to do things his own way. And he never grew out of it. In high school, John met the love of his life, Kathy, who promptly tricked him into asking her to the senior prom. Can you believe she thought she'd won? She accepted his coerced invitation, and he helped her pick out the fabric for her dress, and the rest is history. The two were married in Lake Jackson on August 18th, 1979. They laughed during the ceremony, and as often as possible for the next 46 years. John and Kathy raised one son, Charles, and John approached fatherhood with the same enthusiasm and curiosity with which he approached everything, and he was fiercely proud of the man his son had become. After graduating from Longmore's College, John earned his degree in psychology from Southwestern University and his teaching credentials from the University of Texas at Austin. For 29 years, John gave of his time and talent for Palestine ISD students. His creativity spilled into the classroom and ignited the young minds trusted to his care. He created a place where students from all walks of life felt safe and seen. John believed learning should be active, memorable, and occasionally a little chaotic. John was particularly proud of his annual Civil War water gun reenactment. If, by chance, you're a Palestine ISD student whose life was impacted by John Lamb, would you do me the honor of standing? Thank you. If you were an educator who worked for Palestine ISD and your life and work were impacted by John Lamb, and I will include myself here, will you please stand? Thank you. John was a scholar, a world traveler, an artist, a chef, a singer, and an actor. He said yes to as many things as he could, and sometimes more than he should have. He thought so far outside of the box that sometimes it was hard to tell if there was a box. He loved adventures, big and small, and he loved being right. He officiated countless weddings, including mine, because he believed in the power of love and in the importance of sharing it. I'm going to pause again here. And if John played an active role in your search for love, will you please stand? For 40 years, John gave of his incredible talents at the Palestine Community Theater. His expertise and experience were unmatched, and his advice, solicited or not, valuable. Now, I'm not going to bother to ask you to stand if you ever had unsolicited advice from John Lamb. In lieu of flowers, the family requests donations be made to PCT or Rotary International in his honor. If you ever had the pleasure of working on a show with John, I counted mine and I'm near 20. It's the pleasure of my life. If you ever had the chance to work with John on a show, will you please stand? Thank you, my friends. If you're a Rotary member who ever worked with John, will you please stand? Thank you. John is survived by his wife, Kathy, his son, Charles, sisters, Brenda and Connie, and brother, Steve. John leaves behind a life well lived, and the evidence of that, in part, is in this room today. At this time, we're going to ask some folks to come up, share some memories and some words, but I'm going to warn you, we're going to treat this like an awards ceremony. If you start to run long, Kurt back there is going to play you off. There you go. So, first up, Sheila Galloway.
everybody hear me? Okay, good. I'm going to try and get through this and not improv my way through it. So John would appreciate that. My name is Sheila Galloway. I'm the founder and director of Galloway Art Productions. And I've known John since the 5th grade. There's a little tiny story in that. How many of you were here in 1987 when the tornado hit and it took out the school? Yeah. Okay, well, my class was the very first class to be in AM Story where the location is now. That's 1990, 91. John's class was 2 doors down from mine. I never had the pleasure of being one of his students, but I never forget everything that he did 2 doors down from us. There was always something. There was always some crazy activity, always some learning lesson. And he valued history so much that it would carry over in everyday conversations. So one of the cool things that happened back in November, John and 3 other people were, I guess you could say, the only ones that could help me get my project off the ground. John's last movie was my first production. And it's a black and white 1940s noir film. And you'll see a clip once we get things going. Because of him, the first episode of Temperance Poise Mysteries would have never happened. I mean, he gave me so much advice, and to be able to stay in focus and to be able to get this production off the ground. So I know that it's going to happen. It's in the editing phase right now, so everyone will have a chance to see it. And I'm dedicating my film to him. So another thing I'd like to say, so give me a second here. This is what's cool about John. He wouldn't want us to cry river. And if he did, and if we were on that river, John would travel that river in style and have a good time doing it. He would probably act out Shakespeare in that whole process and give a history lesson on some random subject. I remember John in high school being out at the museum, the Reagan Museum, where he had this platform built where he acted out Shakespeare. That was like back in the day in the 90s when you hardly ever saw things like that. So the appreciation of John shouldn't be an ending, because I don't believe that life ends. It carries on. We have memories, we have plays, we have a true dedication to a spirit. Now the cool thing about John, there was always a joke. It didn't matter. Wherever you were at, what you were doing, we were joking on set till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in the middle of an alleyway just down the road, finding some crazy 1940s murder mystery, which all of you will see at some point. But I am so grateful to be able to be here, to share these wonderful memories, and to know that I've known this man since early on in my childhood. And a lot of you will have those memories too, so thank you, all of you, and God bless you for this opportunity to be able to speak here, so I'm grateful. Let us all carry on. He wouldn't want us to be sad. There's no reason for it. He had a wonderful life and is still carrying on. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and let's have a beautiful day of celebration. God bless.
I want to invite Juma Absi to come up and say a few words for us. I think we're here. What's his name? Oh yeah, John Lamb. So we're going to be talking about John.
Good morning. I gave many speeches in my lifetime, but this is the first time in this situation. And I wanted to do it because Mr. Lamb meant so much to me and my family. I normally don't write speeches, but just speak from the heart. But when I get emotional, then my accent is not that good, so please excuse me for that. So I had ChatGPT help me out. there's Mr. Lamb was like the man of knowledge. He knew so much about everything. The only two subjects he couldn't argue with me about was being an eye doctor and soccer. Other than that, it was all him. My oldest son, Malik, he's 24 now. He just graduated from UT Austin with master's degree. Mr. Lamb was his teacher in elementary school, 4th and 5th and 6th grade. And I'm not sure if they have this now, but they have gifted and talented program. Malik started at A&M for 2 years. Well, he graduated TBCC first when he was in high school, then he went to A&M for 2 years. Then he wanted to go to UT Austin. So he has experienced many, many professors over his lifetime. And still, Mr. Lamb was his favorite teacher. I've heard many stories from several students that he had taught over the years. I read through all of them, and one of them that touched me the most is he took his students to Washington, D.C. on a trip through school. And there was an African-American kid that really wanted to go, but he couldn't afford to go. Mr. Lamb found a way to get him, and the student told me that Mr. Lamb came to his house. He remembered the day. It's been over 15 years ago. He came to his house to pick him up and took him on that trip. Well, let's see what ChatGPT has to say now. My condolences to his family from my wife and I. My wife is here with me. We're here today. We want to honor Mr. Lamb, a man who meant so much to my family and his community. Mr. Lamb was my oldest son, elementary school teacher. My son has since graduated with his master's, and to this day, Mr. Lamb is his favorite teacher. That tells you everything about the kind of impact he had. His love and care for his students was unmatched, and the generations of kids in the community are better because of him. He supported me personally as well. He was one of the first people to visit my clinic when I opened about a year and a half ago. He came in with a huge smile on his face, and he told me he was proud of me. He came to almost all my children's celebrations, and over time, he became part of our family. What I admired most about Mr. Lamb was his kindness and curiosity about people. He loved learning about different cultures, foods, and lives. He never judged, no matter someone's background, beliefs, or politics. He simply chose kindness. He was always ready to help, always with a smile. He was one of the smartest people I've known, not because he showed it off, but he genuinely loved learning. He gave his time freely, volunteering for organizations that matter deeply in our community. I loved seeing him enjoy retirement, staying active, having fun, even joking that he wanted to be a bodybuilder like me. And he was keeping me updated on his workouts and his diet. One small story about the kind of man he was. People made fun of me for wearing the bow ties that he just put on and it's ready. They said you need to be professional and use the real one. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna rise up to the challenge and do it. I tried for about 45 minutes watching YouTube videos and I couldn't do it. So I posted on Facebook my struggle. 5 minutes later, I get a text from Mr. Lamb. You need help? I said, yes, sir, I do. He showed up to my work about 10 minutes later and tied it for me. One of the greatest honors of my life was having Mr. Lamb be the announcer at our wedding. His voice and presence gave us peace and comfort. I don't really have family here, but I do have a lot of friends that I consider family, and Mr. Lamb was one of them. I'm almost done, guys. I'm sorry it's taking too long, but I do think about him every day. I wish I had spent more time with him. Life gets busy sometimes, and we forget how precious time is. My message to all of you is simple. Love one another, check on each other, and make the time, because time is not promised. Rest in peace, my dear friend. I know you're looking down on us with that familiar smile. You are deeply loved, and you are deeply missed. God bless you all.
Next up, Gypsy, if you'll join us.
I was trying to think about what I could talk about with John for you guys, but all of those fun talks we'll leave at the pint. So I got a few poems. Because of you, because I knew you, I've been changed for good. Because of you, I am better than I ever would have been without. And I would hate to know me that never knew you. I think some people are meant to meet, destined to know each other. And when they finally do, fate lets out a deep breath, like its only job was crossing those paths, and it worked. As soon as I knew you, every questionable thing made sense. Every twist, every turn, were never wrong in the way that I thought. Because even the stuff I wish hadn't happened turned into a story I got to tell to you. And it sounded an awful like one that you had been through before. And then again, you seemed like somebody that I have known before this. I know everyone comes into your life for a reason, but I never wondered the reason when it came to you. For because I knew you, because I know you, I have been changed for good. And on those days when you miss someone the most, as though their memories are sharp enough to slice through skin and bone, remember he loved you. Remember how he loved you, and do that for yourself. In his name, in his honor, love yourself as he loved you. He would like that. On those days you miss him the most, love yourself harder.
Bob Malden, you here, Bob? Please come up.
My name is Bob Malden. I'm the host and producer of a show called Harvey's Festival of Fear, which John was a part of. And we went national several years ago. And at the time, Sonia Martinez, who is out here with us, who is a longtime cast member of the show, wrote in a character for a butler on the show. And I was privileged to see firsthand the talent and the force that is John Lamb, and made a friend in the process. Someone way smarter than myself once told me about your sphere of influence. Most common folks, that involves maybe your work, people, and your family. And John had so many more than that. Obviously, he had his family. And if you spend 5 minutes with John, you would know how much they meant to him. But then to get to know John even more so, and just since his passing, I've learned so much about John that I had no idea existed. And that's why I say he's a force. He was an educator. He had 30 years of creating and shaping the minds of children that came through Palestine ISD. What a remarkable thing that is just on its own. He had the theater community, which he loved and devoted so much time and attention to. All of the lives that were touched, all of the chairs that were filled, all the laughter that echoed through this hall because of John Lamb. That's another massive undertaking, another massive sphere of influence that he had. And you talk about the Rotary here and all the great things that they do here in Palestine. I only just learned of that today, that he was Rotarian, that he had a great influence on his community in that way. But the one that I got to be involved with had two parts to it. One was the small company of people that worked together in a tiny little studio in Tyler, Texas to produce this silly TV show, some of which you'll get to see John's greatest moments of here in a little bit. We had our own little circle. Jeff Miller's here with me. Sonia Martinez is out here. We worked on the show together in Tyler, Texas, and even we didn't really realize what we were putting out into the world because we're in our own little cubby making this show, and people were seeing it all over the country. So when we shared the news of the passing of John, we were getting comments and condolences from all over the country. So not only did John have the Rotary Club, not only did John have 30 years of educating and shaping the minds of folks here in Palestine, not only did he entertain on this stage so often and created smiles for so many in that way, he also did it all over the country through this silly character and this silly little TV show that we put out there. To do any one of those things, any one of the things that I've mentioned here and that we highlighted when he had everyone stand up and represent John's influence on you, your sphere of influence sometimes is just your home and family, but keep a life like John's in mind. That it doesn't just have to be that. Just sometimes the little things you go out and do in the world can make such a big difference. We're in a tiny room in Tyler, Texas, doing a tiny little show that had no budget. Sometimes they would have to wait until I put the money in the bank for the check to clear that I wrote them to act out the parts. But we were doing this tiny little show in our little cubby, and people all over were seeing it and appreciating and loving John for his contribution to that. And every one of those students that he had went out into the world, and they had their own influence that John helped them create. Every Rotarian that serves here in Palestine goes out into the world, and they have that influence that John helped them to create. And here on the stage, the people that John mentored and taught to enjoy and love theater as much as he did, they went out into the world, and they're doing their own thing too. So your sphere of influence never just ends with you. And I'm humbled to have had a tiny little experience where I was able to learn from, get that unsolicited advice we talked about that we love to get so much from John. And I am richer because I had the opportunity to know him, and I believe that's the same for everyone in this room. Thank you all for sharing John Lamb with me. Thank you to his family for sharing him with the world, because we all love him and we all are very much appreciative of his contribution to our lives. Thank you for having me here today. God bless you.
Okay, so John was on the set of a movie. It was Gambler 5, I believe it was. And he's playing the ticket guy at the train station. And so these veteran actors are going to pull over a fast one on the rookie. And so they come up to John and say, "We're Pinkerton men, and we're looking for this woman. Have you seen her?" And they hand him a picture. But what no one could see was that they handed him a picture from Playboy magazine. And John just took it and kept on going with it. "Well, I think if I had seen her, I'd remember her." And he went on about his job. He was great.
Believe now. We're going to ask Carol Moore to come up. Oh, we do have a video first. That's what you get when you don't rehearse. So we'll leave it to Kurt then, and then we'll invite Carol up.
Can I help you?
Oh, the question is, how can I help you? I'm Butler for you, and I'm here to help you with all
Butler?
the...
For me? Hey, wait a minute. Look, Butler, would you please stop? Butler, Butler, calm down. No, not the bat's blood. We use that every day.
You rang, sir?
Butler, between you and me, when's the last time we've cleaned this place?
Well, between the two of us, we've been in prison for 4 years, and Wanda, you know, never.
What is this thing?
You rang, sir?
Whoa! Butler, y'all have done gone uptown, downtown. You mean when I pull this here rope, you just come walking in here?
In theory, sir.
That's all right. Hey, what do I gotta pull to get Wanda to come in here?
What are you working on over there?
A shopping list, ma'am.
Well, we need toilet paper.
Your monster, sir.
Oh, Butler, let's see what you got. Prop that thing right here and open her up. Butler, what is this?
It's the scariest thing I could find, sir. Yes, sir. Slimy, sir. I'm not much of a hunter, sir.
Well, neither was I the first time I went. I was 2 years old. I went out there and got up in a tree. The light was just starting to come through the bushes. I perched my 30-30 up on the branch. Looked through the sights, and I spotted my kill. Took my shot.
A big buck, sir?
The neighbor's cow. His prize bull, to be exact.
Hello, Bob. This is yourself speaking. What we just did is H1108 is actually H1109.
You will have the privilege tonight of seeing your favorite horror host and his crystal ball lady sliced up on TV. Or do I want to dice them up? Oh, I could slice them and dice them.
Shouldn't we be doing Shouldn't we be doing this in the morning, sir?
No, that's just an old wives' tale.
Handed down over generations?
No, my ex-wife told me.
Fast Freddy's Funeral Home and Fried Pies. Harvey speaking. Oh, hello, Mr. Inspector. What? You can't. Sorry.
All right, stand by.
It's good to see everybody here. I want to thank y'all for being here. I noticed a lot of T-shirts and some kilts, so I want to thank you. I wore one from 1994. This is the first show that John directed me in, Wait Until Dark, so I was able to fit into it. I have an older one. It's from 1992 when I directed him in Blythe's Spirit, but it shrank. So, my history with John goes back many years, basically in theater. I quickly became part of the theater family, and he welcomed me in. We've done many, many shows together, some of which Jim mentioned. We forgot Goodbye, Charlie. But it's either he directed me or I was directing him or we were on stage together last time in Bonnie and Clyde. We spent many minutes backstage just sitting together because we didn't have the leads, just talking about the phenomenal talent that is filling our stage these days, the young people. He's very proud of that. Just another project we could work on. But he loved this theater. He loved everybody in it. He was the smartest guy I ever knew. At least that's what he told me. So, anyway, seriously, he was extremely intelligent and just had a good word for everybody. I never saw him talk ugly about anything or anybody. He's a sense of adventure, just always growing, always growing. But his greatest love was his family. And it's something that he would always talk about. He loved you, Kathy and Charlie, so much, and talked about you all the time. And he and I would argue sometimes. I'm just off the cuff here because I have too many memories to just stick on one, so I'm gonna move around. But we would argue, but he'd always loved me. You know, it was okay. We were like brother and sister. It just worked its way out. But the one thing about him was love. So, like everybody else, I want to encourage you to love each other, be kind to each other. John loved everybody. It didn't matter who you were or what you did, how old you were, where you been, what you do. John loved everybody, and everybody was his best friend. I was telling Kathy the other day, he did so much for me, as a friend, and we spent years on the stage. When did he have time to help all of you? Right? I mean, he was always going. So that just warms my heart that I wasn't the only one, that he loves so many, and that's what he loved to do. So I encourage you, if you're next to somebody, a loved one, I encourage you, just hold their hand. If you're next to somebody that you don't know, introduce yourself, because look what you have in common. The love and friendship of John. Look at this big group, the impact he's had. But I want to especially celebrate the love that John had for Kathy, and that's what this next light show is about. Thank you.
Baby, I'ma want you. Baby, I'ma need you. You're the only one I care enough to hurt about. Maybe I'm a crazy, but I just can't live without your love and affection. Giving me direction, like a guiding light to help me through the darkest hour. Lately I'm praying that you'll always be spoken inside me. Used to be my life was just emotions passing by.
So at this time, we'd like to ask John's son, Charles, to please come up and say a few words.
Well, I thought this was going to be a roast, so John Lamb was like a father to me. To the extent that he even married my mother and 10 years later gifted me with half my genetics and a terrible sense of humor. While I didn't get the privilege of knowing him as long as some of you, I did get the privilege of calling him father, dad, or on occasion, old man. I know I'm not the only one here thinking it's not fair that he's gone, to which I'm sure many of you already know his answer. Whoever told you life was fair lied to you. An adage he learned from his grandfather early on and never missed a chance to repeat. Oftentimes, when speaking of someone, the first question I might ask myself is, what can I even say about this person? When speaking of my father, it's more, when and how do I stop? Let someone else have a turn. I'm sure many of you feel the same, so I'll try not to keep you all night. My birth was on the complicated side. My mother was staying with her sister in DeSoto, being monitored for early labor, and my father was in Palestine trying to finish up the school year. He made the 2-hour, 100-mile drive each evening, then drove back each morning in time for his bus route and school day, before once again returning to DeSoto. He did this for weeks. I wouldn't even call this outlying behavior for him. I know many people describe him as the guy who would say yes, the guy you could count on to go out of his way, but there's a bit more to it. Another of his frequent sayings was, be good, and if you can't be good, be discreet. Generally speaking, I don't know that anyone would describe John Lamb as a discreet person, which left him with only one other option. He believed in the concept of mitzvah, that helping others and doing good things was a blessing in itself. And on top of that, he was always looking to better himself, to learn and to teach and to experience more. In a way, it was a certain kind of difficult for me growing up with such an impossible role model. It was more or less being the kid of a local celebrity. Very quickly, I realized I was always just Mr. Lamb's son, even among my peers, thanks to his many famous teaching methods. As I got older and started branching out, I soon realized anything I could learn, anything I could try my hand at, he seemed to already have been there, done that, and I wanted to be less like him. As an adult, with time, distance, and a tiny bit of maturity, I've come to the realization that the reason I always felt like I was in his shadow growing up was because his light shined so bright, so far, and in so many directions. I wish I was more like him. During our last conversation that I had with him, we ended up talking about how throughout his life he always jumped into things without hesitation, and how sometimes that's exactly what the situation requires, or else it's too late. I think many people could do to be more like him. There are conversations I wanted to have with him, things to pick his brain on that I had been putting off. They were little things, and I figured I had been taking enough of his busy schedule that it could wait until I see him at Christmas. I should have just jumped in. I think there's a lesson in that. I know many people will say that those who have passed are looking down on us now from above. I disagree. My faith tells me they aren't so far off as that. If all the world's a stage, then there is a grand curtain through which we enter and exit. And behind that curtain, there's a busy backstage where there are ropes to be pulled, set pieces to be moved, and props to be located. I'm sure they are working to keep this show on course as we flub our lines, miss our cues, step off our marks, and sometimes just go completely off script. And sometimes, as we stand there like a deer in the headlights, our next line having freshly flown the coop like an overladen swallow, there's someone just behind that curtain trying to quietly whisper the words to us. I don't imagine my old man would be much content to sit out of the way on the sidelines when there's still so much to do and learn. And once we see him again, I know he'll have even more to teach. As soon as his orientation is finished and he hears that there's something that needs doing, I can only imagine him saying, "Here am I, send me." And I hope his first assignment is to take that camping trip he kept putting off. And we will all have to be responsible for carrying our own pocket knives now.
At this time, Larry Weber, will you please join us?
I don't have anything too much prepared except a song in a minute. John, two things I'll piggyback. Friend and love. And I thought I would share a text, one of the last texts I got from John. I had the privilege of directing Bonnie and Clyde, which was John's last performance in this theater. And from the get-go, that guy said he's in 100%, whether I picked him as a character or I picked him to help backstage. And we had a complicated set. Jim, myself, and John, he was there. He said, "I'll do anything you want." I told him to stop, because he was there all the time. And I didn't want him doing something that I didn't like, so I said, "You've done enough, John." He says, excuse me, "I have and continue to love working with you whenever I can. I also, if you excuse the sentimentality, love you as a person, your family included. I want this show to be the absolute show, the best, a good path towards that it is to take the mechanics off your shoulders so you can focus on the actors." He also gave me some advice. This was during a rehearsal. "Hey, you might want to think about banning backstage phones for cast and crew. And folks scrolling and texting and so on, like I'm doing right now." After the show was over, John was the first one up here to help tear down the set. And you can't see it, but back in the corner, which goes back to the green room, John was here, often helping to tear down, and he sent me a picture of a ghost light. And a ghost light is a light that stays on to help see backstage when it's pitch black. And he goes, "I put in my own ghost light." And we, as the board, at least I think we're in agreement, we're never going to turn that light off again. It's on right now. So that text was about love and service, and John and I, one thing we shared was music. We did several shows together. very talented singer. We sang a lot of harmonies together. One thing that I'll never forget is during COVID, we couldn't go to Rotary together, so it was virtual. And we always do a song during Rotary. And John and I said, let's do a song. We can't be there, so let's do a parody. And so we thought and thought, and he came up with, hey, how about the Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand. And so we wrote, I Don't Want to Hold Your Hand. And there is a video somewhere of it for all of you Rotarians that stood up. If you happen to have it in your archive, Hugh, perhaps, I'd love to see it because I couldn't find it. But we recorded that and streamed it. So if you don't mind, I am going to play a song. And this, I want you to close your eyes, and this is a song I think, if I can get through it. John would be singing to you. And forgive me. Is this on? Are you on, Kurt? You got me? Okay. And forgive me if I screw up. I just learned it last night. You've got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road gets rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said, boy. You got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got troubles, I got them too. There isn't anything that I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, we can see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, big and stronger too, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy. As the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny, 'cause you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. I love you, John.
Boy, that's a hard act to follow. But if anybody could do it, John could.
At this time, we do want to show a tribute to John Lamb's theater and film career. And again, just like I said with the words of an obituary, there's no way to say enough or to show enough of John's talent, his creativity. But here's just a glance.
Well, I got to tell you, my personal favorite part John ever played had to be Ben Franklin, 1776. Yeah, he was more Ben Franklin than Ben Franklin. He was great.
this is Quiz Trophy Report.
And here we go with the news. Take it away there, Forston.
Well, first off in the news, we've got the winner of the Tuna Junior High School American Heritage Essay Contest. And this year's winner is Connie Carp. Now, she's the daughter of W.H. and Vera Carp here in Tuna. And the name of her essay is titled Human Rights, Why Bother? Now, second place went to Jimbo Beaumont for Living with Radiation. And third place went to Levita Posey for The Other Side of Bigotry. You know, with subjects like this, I don't know how they ever chose a winner.
Well, I don't either, but I tell you, it should make the citizens of Tuna proud to know that we are still producing well-educated students who know what America is all about.
They do.
They do.
They do. You know, they always do a really good job.
Excuse me there.
Oh, go right ahead, Horace.
I see faces every day. Look at the photograph carefully. Little lady was in here less than an hour ago.
What did the little lady want?
2 tickets.
To where?
Galveston. Last 2 I sold on the express.
Well, you can sell us 2 more.
Hope you got a good place to stay.
Why's that?
Next train for Galveston leaves at 8 p.m. It's the milk run. Should get there about sunup. Give or take an hour or 2. There you are, sir.
Thank you. Damn you, Brady Hawks. They're leaving the country.
So, John, why is Palestine Palestine?
Palestine was named Palestine by the founders who came here from Palestine, Illinois. But Palestine, Illinois, in its turn, was actually named after the Philistines because the Hebrew word for Philistines, that we call Philistine, that's the English word, was Philistine.
It's dead. Just a minute.
Fell out of order. Please knock.
That's more like it. Now, state your business.
We want to see the wizard.
The wizard? Nobody's seen the great house. Nobody's ever seen the great house. Even I've never seen him.
Well then, if you haven't seen him, then how do you know there is one?
Well, because if there wasn't a wizard, what would you be doing here?
Please don't ever see the lizard. The good witch of the north sent me.
Prove it.
She's wearing the ruby slippers she gave her.
Oh, so she is. Well, bust my buttons. Why didn't you say so in the first place? That's a horse of a different color.
Say, who's he calling a horse? Why, he wasn't on the other side of that door.
He's coming out.
He'd be on this side.
Welcome to the Emerald City.
Thank you.
Did you come far?
Oh, just a long different way.
Every step is worth it. Did you have any idea just how wonderful this place really is?
Well, I've been trying to imagine it, but I haven't got a brain. They said I'd fall in love with it if I had a heart.
It's the one place I don't need any courage, because there's nothing here to scare me. Is there?
Keys. What happened? We gotta get out of here. You okay?
We gotta go. Oh, Christina, go.
I'm a real miser, you know. I can't help it. I just love to look at it. Oh, hello, boys. After all, who's going to look after me in the old age? It's my one pleasure in life. Coffee and the queen chant of love. Oh, love, possible. Oh, yes, I remember you. Yes, that's all. But will you look after me in the old age? What, will you, Betty? Will you? Will you? You? What are you doing awake? What have you seen? Tell me everything you saw.
I couldn't sleep anymore, sir. I'm sorry if I disturbed you, sir.
Well, you were awake 5 minutes ago.
Sir?
2 minutes ago.
Not that I know, sir.
Be sure. Be sure.
All right, then I'm sure.
Well, if you're sure, my dear, I'm sure. Oh, I knew it all along, you know. I was just trying to, frighten you. Yes, and you're a brave boy, Oliver. A brave boy. Did you see any of my pretty things?
Yes, sir.
Well, they're mine, Oliver. My old property. They're all I've got to live on in the old age. It's a terrible thing, you know. Old age.
May I go now, sir?
Certainly, my boy, certainly. There's a basin by the fire. You can have a wash.
But I had a wash yesterday, sir.
Well, today's your birthday. Wash!
If you don't mind having to deal with bacon, it's a fine life, it's a fine. So disease strikes quite to bring a plague in. It's a fine life, it's a fine life. The grass stays green and dense on the right side of the fence. And we take good care that we get our share and that we don't live. If you don't mind having to like a lump it, it's a fine life, it's a fine. So there's no tea.
Officer Howard. Papers.
Damn it. Same cut, same angle. I've seen this before.
Sure you have. Everything's something if you're trying hard enough.
Back in Manhattan, same MO. Blonde actress, red dress. Called her his leading lady. Never caught the bastard. Thought I left him behind.
You telling me this is the same fella all the way down here?
It's him. He must have followed me.
We don't get this kind of big city boogeyman down here, son. This is East Texas. People kill for money or moonshine or love or pitching pennies against the wall in a dark alley. Not for sport.
Murder's murder, Hank. Doesn't matter if it's Fifth Avenue or Pine Street.
So you be careful what kind of ghosts you drag into my town. The people down here, they scare easy. You start talking about boogeyman down here, and they're gonna see monsters in every shadow.
Maybe they should.
God help us, maybe we should.
Mr. Honey, we are not such imbeciles in Scotland as many Londoners seem to think. I did not believe your cock and bull story. Why, the professor, the bullet you got here, the professor is the best friend I have in the district. Go on. No, you go ahead. If the professor didn't shoot me, then when did this bullet come from? Grab him, man! Oh, you're in deep Fantasy Island. There's something familiar about her. Can we get back to the examination, please?
Yeah, but who? Whoa! Oh, is it, woman? It's dropping! What?
It's dropping! Oh, for God's sake, Jimmy! Jimmy! Oh, boy! Like that? I just said! I said a boy! A boy! Give me a boy! I told you a boy! Go boil some water, Dad! Quickly, there may be bloodshed! Water! Take my pulse! Can I stop now? No, not yet. Go run around the house 3 times, and then we will check your blood pressure. We've got to keep that blood flowing.
Oh, I could now throw up.
You better? You better get it! Now, get out of here, Pampers.
But there is a naked woman in my examination room.
Is it Maureen?
No, Maureen's a blonde. Besides, I haven't seen her all...
What? I thought you loved her.
This is exciting. You never know what kind of person is going to walk through that door.
You can say that again. Oh, hiya, Doc. I'm sorry I'm late for my appointment. I had to stop and smell the roses. Again. What profession is this man in, son? Bus driver. Bus driver. Dad. Mr. Charles, I'd like you to meet my parents, Mr. and Mrs. Brewster.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Charles.
Nice to meet you. Oh, you must use Palmolive.
Master, he is going swell. I don't know. It's happening so fast. She glanced this way. I thought I saw. And when we touched, she didn't shudder at my paw. No, it can't be. I'll just ignore. But then she's never looked at me that way before. When she smiles at me, I get all choked up. My heart starts pounding, and I can't breathe. Good! That's good. Oh, that is excellent, Basil. I've never felt this way about anyone before. I want to give her something, but what?
Well, sir, they're all the usual things, like chocolates.
Oh, no.
Yes, well, like flowers.
No.
Promises you don't intend to keep.
Aha! Oh, no. Fire sale! Fireball coming in! Feel a kiss of my cool Spanish steel! Oil again! Oh! Damn your lightning reflexes!
Gomez, look.
Oh, flowers? Who would send something so tasteless?
The most precious gift there is, more goodly-licious than gold, is that blessing we call friendship, whether new or very old.
Goodly-licious? Who talks like that?
The Beineckeys, Wednesday's friend Lucas, and his parents. They're coming for dinner tonight.
Lucas?
Yes.
But Lucas is a boy's name.
Yes.
Wednesday has a friend that's a boy.
It's nothing, dear. Puppy love. Put these in water.
Our little secret, right?
Oh, yes, our little secret. Wednesday's grown up, and I'm not ready. Wednesday's growing up, as time slips by. When did she become someone else's chum? Someone else who made her father wonder why, oh why? Wednesday's growing up. She'll be Thursday before you know it. A puzzling thing, a secret in the house, a boy, a girl, a ring.
Was positively indecent.
They're young and in love.
Not them, Franklin, us. Standing down here while they're up there. What will people think?
But don't worry, John, the history books will clean it up.
It doesn't matter. I won't clear the history books anyway. Only you. Franklin did this. Franklin did that. Franklin did some other thing. Franklin smoked the ground and up sprang George Washington, fully grown and on his horse. Franklin then electrified them with his miraculous lightning rod, and the three of them, Franklin, Washington, and the horse, conducted the entire revolution all by themselves.
I like it. That's it, John. You're taking up the violin.
Very well, madam. You have to play violin. What happens next?
Next, Mr. Adams?
Yes, what does Tom do now?
Just what you'd expect.
Oh.
We dance! Thank you so much, Mr. Franklin.
John, you can dance. Better do a few things in Boston, Franklin. Incredible.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're on wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to get it's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee
We're going to have a prayer. Sandy, please.
I've known John for many years. He taught my youngest, Nathan. Then we worked together at Palestine, and I was a teacher, then a tech, and I oftentimes would have to go into his room to fix his technology, not that John didn't know how to do it. And it was always a pleasure watching him work with the kids. I did several shows with him. One in particular, John was so talented, he could build anything. He had to build a coffin for Pretty Texas. And when the show ended, he was posting on our little Facebook page, "Oh, anybody want this?" And I was like, "Well, heck yeah, all that work you did." So I have a coffin in my backyard that my neighbors quite often kind of go, So one of my favorite shows to work with him on was Tuna. I wore this one. Willy Wonka was the first one where John, he was the director, had me working backstage, which I think led to many years of working backstage as stage manager. So really, he's the reason for that. So, but I was going to wear my Greater Tuna shirt, but like Carol, somehow it shrunk. But, and I have to say, that was one of my favorite shows. I worked with him and Jerry, and it was really kind of odd having worked with him as a coworker. And Jerry grew up in my house. He went to school with my daughter, where every night you got to watch two men undress for free. Now, his wife was there, so don't think anything of that. But it was one of the best shows, and I've enjoyed it. John and I had many conversations, and we were very alike in many ways. When we were working on Bonnie and Clyde, we'd be back there working on set stuff, and he'd go, I was the stage manager, he'd go, "Now let them do it. You're supposed to manage them." And I'm like, "John, I just want to get it done." He'd go, "I know, I'm the same way." But there's a popular Irish blessing that says, "Those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day. Unseen, unheard, but always near. Still loved, still missed, and very dear." And I believe this to be true, that those we love are always around us, and John certainly is. Here at the theater before each show, we normally gather in a circle, we join hands, and we say a prayer, asking for blessings upon each performance and thanking God for the gifts he's provided us to share with the audience, to bring a little laughter, a little cheer, to help them escape into another world for a couple of hours, to not trip or fall or forget our lines. And I ask you now, if you will, to stand and join hands. To bow, or for a moment of silence, you can join hands across the aisle if you wish. Thank you, God, for the gift of John Lamb that you shared with us. Help us to go out as he did and share our talents, gifts, whatever they may be, with those around us, to help them when needed, make them laugh, make them smile, pass on a bit of wisdom, and maybe show them to see different things from a different perspective. And as each of you leave today, as a saint once said, may the road rise up to meet you, may the wind be always at your back, may the sun shine warm upon your face, the rains fall soft upon your fields, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Until we meet again, John, amen.
This is the close of this ceremony, but it's going to continue on down at the Pint and Barrel for those of you who want to join us.
Before we leave for the day, I do want to share one last thing. And a thank you to everyone who spoke, to everyone for being here today. When John and his siblings lost their mother, John and I had a conversation, a text conversation about loss, and I thought about John quite a bit in that time. And I sent him a quote from a French book, The Little Prince. And I'm going to share it with you, and then I'm going to tell you what he wrote back. For some who are travelers, the stars are guides. For others, they are no more than little lights in the sky. For others who are scholars, they are problems. But all these stars are silent. You alone will have stars as no one else has them. In one of the stars, I shall be living. In one of them, I shall be laughing. And so it will be as if all the stars will be laughing when you look at the sky at night. You, we, only we will have stars that can laugh. And when your sorrow is comforted, time soothes all sorrows. You will be content that you have known me. And you will sometimes open your windows so for that pleasure. It will be as if, in place of the stars, I had given you a great number of little bells that knew how to laugh. And John wrote back one sentence. And when you sorrow, consider this sentence. He said to me, and I will laugh, mon ami, until the stars grow cold. Thank you all so much for being here.
We have a sing-along. Words will be on the screen. Kurt, roll it, please. Please, sing along.
Mute my mic.
They can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's the light smile the dancers sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purge your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. For life is one word, and death one word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your sleep, give the audience the grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance at the hour. So always look on the bright side of life. Just before you draw your terminal breath, life's a piece of shit when you look at it. Life's a lie unless the joke is true. You'll see it's all a show, keep on laughing as you go. Just remember that the last laugh is on you. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. Always look on the right side of life. Always look on the right side of life. Where's things out to see, huh? Always look on the right side of life. You know, you come from nothing, you go back to nothing. What you lost? Always look on the right side of life. Nothing will come from nothing, you know what they say? Cheerio, your there you are. See? In the film. Incidentally, this record's available in the Always look on the right side of life. Early on